Yeah, you can hear me now. Hello. It's a very long bio because then I don't have to say more things. My story is only an immigrant story when listened to by natural-born citizens of a land whose borders are both artificial and of a foreigner's design. My story is only a black story to half of my family. I do not feel queer. And what is this shared reality, this accessible truth, these human stories, this distilled liquor, whittled by the 1,000 tiny daggers of city life, I have become my core right to the edges. History doesn't happen by accident. We were taught to fear the silence, the absence, the dark, taught to fight against the inevitable, to seek our likenesses in other people's mirrors. And here's my story, leaning against your front stoop, honest and tired, shivering. What about this gentrification shit? This everything tastes better wrapped in recycled butcher paper shit. This we don't give a fuck about you till we want to fuck you shit. I will never know where my people are from. Not even where the people who stole my people are from. Half my family are Jews. The kind of Jews who think their home is on top of someone else's home. But about this reconciliation shit. This I want to be exotic just like you shit. This your shit smells like shit, but we can afford to have ours carted away shit. I will never know the feel of land between my fingers that remembers the work of the hands of my ancestors. The only things left are the leavings of oppressors, and my mixed blood inclined to disremember for convenience's sake. What about this gentrification shit? This, why do you have to use swear words in your hip-hop shit? This, don't complain, we made it better shit. It's a curious illusion, like I'm real, like I have a body of my own, like I own my flesh, like anyone ever could, like land can actually have owners or holders, like anyone could hold me. And you touch me, like warm dripping oil, like butterfly kiss. And I watch you like white sails on the horizon, like ghosts held in common, like it's just a scout ship, and I love to hear stories of boats. I wrote that piece for the same reason that I wrote the bio, so that I don't have to explain it. So earlier some of us were talking about New York, and I remembered that I wrote a poem about New York, so here's a poem about New York, where I'm from. When they ask me why I would ever leave New York City, I just say my family is there. I say most of my friends have blue hair now. I say I was always planning to go back. I even promised I'd come back. What I mean is, if I could have stayed, I surely would. I miss my stuffed dog. Eloping is the last way to run away from home. When there is no more air, you have to decide if you're willing to fight to survive. If you lack the strength to fight, it's a war of attrition. I am a whole person now. My mother's cooking is delicious, but when I turned up with a foreigner for a husband, she put too much salt in the spanakopita. They tasted like tears. She gifted me pearls. They looked like tears. I am a whole person now. When there is no more water, you have to reevaluate your priorities. Even dangerous love will fill the hole. When they ask me why I would ever leave New York City, what they mean is, if they could leave Vancouver, they surely would. But they'd miss their dog. When there is no more sunlight, you have to choose a new fuel for growth. Which damage is collateral depends on which damage you intended to cause. I need to be a whole person now. My cooking is delicious, but even I haven't tasted it all yet. What they mean is they want to be a whole person. They see I am a whole person. When they ask me why I would ever leave New York City, I say I'm still planning to go back. I'd love to go back. But I have blue hair now. and my family is there. So I'm going to mess with the order a little bit, but one of the intended questions was about writing process. I don't get that much of a choice. I see a lot of suggestions get thrown around, like write every day, and I think, who is that neurotypical person? I've never met them. I don't do anything every day. I really wish I did. I think some of my friends wish that I did something every day, but I think I cheat a lot because I just write what I see and I don't translate it. And sometimes it comes out poetic and sometimes I leave it whole because editing counts. The stuff that doesn't make sense, you just cut out, and the rest is a poem. That is my statement. I'm going to move to this new piece because Jane and I were talking about new things, and it's tender, and I would like to share a brand new thing with you. I wrote this to myself, so yeah, little. If you'll let me, I could hold you soft till the shaking stops. And know it gets so dark sometimes you aren't sure your eyes are open. But even when your heart is made of coconut husk, I would cook for you. If you'll let me, I am learning how to give you what you need. Beginning to understand that what you want is usually just your body suggesting a need is about to emerge. I know the outside of your mind is too many sizes, and the inside is always the wrong color, but even when you are too dehydrated to cry, I will not mischaracterize your relationship with the infinite. I will keep your unflattering photos safe from the floods. So now we have come to the forgiving place, unwilling, incapacitated, carrying our wounds aloft, tears glimmering in the sun like armor, but I will wait for you. If you'll let me, I will take you away from this withdrawal, clean even the embarrassing wounds. The silence need not be always. Your heart need not be pristine. I know you think you'll never be the same. I would like to celebrate the fact that you will never be the same, but I will wait till you'll let me. If you have questions publicly, you can ask them. I am here and willing. If you have questions privately, I'll probably be hovering around the back corner pretending that I know people so that it's not awkward. So, up to you. Now we're ready.
Any questions for Rabbit?
It is.
When did you start writing poetry?
The earliest corroborable evidence says I was about 5. My mom is not a put things on the fridge mom. My mom is where are the other 2 points mom. But there is a poem that I wrote in 1st grade, so I would have been 4. And it has a metaphor. It's called A Road Like Brown Ribbon, but that's all I can remember. But she put it on the fridge, so I figured that counts.
Did you want to talk about something else that you're interested in besides writing?
Things I'm interested in. My cat has a really creepy rash that's very bothersome, and I'm very worried about it. I am very interested in making my life more accessible to me and other people's lives more accessible to them. I spend a lot of effort on that. One of the coolest things I got to do last year was measure a bar, literally, with a measuring tape, and then go home and talk to people about how space can be made more accessible to more people so that more people can go to more things. And they took my measurements and went and changed their bar. So I feel really good about that. And I like the idea that it doesn't have to be that hard, because I just moved here a year ago and I don't have like social status or financial pull or a reason why people should listen to me other than that I said, hey, did you know a wheelchair doesn't fit through here? And they went, oh. And then they did something about it. So, yeah, you can actually do things, and things change and get better for a lot of people. Cool. Thanks so much for sharing some time with me.